Good evening, Vikings, and welcome to the Boys Volleyball home opener. We got the Niles North Vikings playing against the Elk Grove Grenadiers. My name is Anthony.
And I'm Jacob Ornstein.
And we are so excited to be here with Viking Media covering this event. We've got a great, dynamic, young team to watch here in the Niles North Vikings. We have a bit of a wild card in the Elk Grove Grenadiers, so it'll definitely be a good one that you won't want to miss. We've got about 1 minute until we meet our teams. So in the meantime, just chill, enjoy the vibes, and we'll be with you shortly.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Niles North, home of the Vikings. Tonight's volleyball game features the Elk Grove Grenadiers versus your Niles North Vikings. First, let's meet the Grenadiers. Non-starters, number 2, Jacob Grizik. Number 4, Dhruv Patel. Number 5, Krish Patel. Number 7, Ben Unger. Number 12, Adrian Jeffersonski. Number 15, Christian Vivian. Number 17, Jacob Kabor. And your starters, number 1, Isaac Padua.
We've got the starters for the Grenadiers. Number 1, Isaac Padua. Number 8, Christian Lasik at middle. Number 9, Rudra Patel at setter. Number 11, Jason Lewis on right side. Number 14, Alex Ortloff at middle, and our libero. Number 3, Jacob Maxwell. Grenadiers coached by Pat Henley and assisted by Selena Wodarski and Tim Rettel. But now we're going to meet the Vikings.
Non-starters, number 1, Octon Errol.
Non-starter, number 1, Octon Errol. Number 2, Kieran 2. Number 8, Alex Ford. Number 11, Loden Tansey. Number 13, Rhino Kalamudan. Number 14, David Kizgevich. And we've got some starters too. Number 7, Horia Becca. Number 9, Andrew Selig. Number 10, Stefan Toma. Number 15, Tom James. Number 6, Gino Hamoy. And number 18, Layden Biro. Also got a libero. Number 0, Rafael Don Bartolad. Vikings, of course, coached by head coach Andre Shaw and assisted by Alan Tom. 2 great coaches who have done so much for this program over their tenure. But we now get to see it, I think, Coach Shaw's 8th season.
That is very impressive, Anthony. You love a coach that's there for the long run, and the Vikings have clearly found their guy.
Yeah, certainly. We'll now transition to the playing of our national anthem. And the two teams will meet. Rafael, the libero, getting to the net first. It's a symbolic measure of readiness for the game. And Jacob, it's going to be a good one.
Oh, I'm excited, Anthony. These are two very capable teams, and I think we're going to see some awesome action tonight here at the Loud House on Lawler.
Definitely. Now, this is certainly a younger team. A lot of sophomores and a lot of juniors, leaving a lot of room after the season. But, of course, in that we did have to say goodbye and, let them off to college. Some of our other players, for example, at libero, Rafael Dunbarla taking over for Nick Lee, who is the trusted libero for at least 3 seasons on this team, I think. So, just thinking about the past and thinking about how we can improve for the future.
100%, Anthony. And having a young team, though, that is certainly an advantage. Look at our basketball team, for example, also a very young team. And they're doing pretty fine for themselves, too. But enough talk, because it is about to be volleyball time here at Niles North.
Pre-game transitions being made, and it appears that number 7, Horia Becca, will start us off. Down, set, outside, and tipped into the antenna. That is not how you want to start your season if you're a Grenadier, but perfect beginning for the Vikings.
100%, but shouldn't let that 1 point phase you there.
Becca short, set to the right side, and off of Andrew Selig's hand, it's going to be Grenadier point, and you can already see the energy that both teams are bringing.
Oh, Anthony, I can hear that slap from up here. Wow.
Number 11 from the Grenadiers up to serve. Right to Rafael. Horia setting on the right side and down by Selig. Tip. And denied by Gino Hamoy. Bit of a miscommunication there, headed by Tom James at the middle. But next point, Vikings.
Wait, only down 1 here early, Anthony. Not freaking out yet. Overall, I see a lot of good communication from the Vikings.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that Coach Shaw emphasizes. Serve is down, set far outside, and bopped by Gino Hamoy. Got a block by Tom James, and the Grenadiers go for, a powerful set, but instead called a carry. Point Vikings. Now up to serve the sophomore, number 9, Andrew Selig. Good floater picked up by the lib. Set and whiffed. Now on the right side, Gino Hamoy with so much power brings it down. Can't say the same about number 11 of the Grenadiers. That timing, wasn't 100%, and so whiffs at the ball.
Yeah, the man in the middle there, he seemed to just kind of freeze up with the ball dropping there. Couldn't quite get it up.
Selig with the serve goes over and dumped by the setter. Now a back row attack from Selig, and it goes out.
A little too much busted on there, Anthony, but you could hear the power from that.
Definitely, this is a strong team who I hear has been pretty consistent at lifts throughout the year. Definitely paying off. You just got to keep it under control.
Pretty soon you think he'll have the Earn It shirt. I see those coming around the school. 10-100 off-season lifts.
Oh! Landon Barrow, the mullet bullet. That is the same old Landon Barrow, and for good. Oh my goodness, what a way to open up.
Oh my God.
Rafael Dunbartalad with the serve going long. Set outside and brought down. Can't get picked up by Becca, and it's a point for the Grenadiers.
A lot of back and forth here early on, Anthony. You love to see a competitive, hard-fought battle this early on. Both teams are really here to fight.
Definitely, and now up to serve. 14 from the Grenadiers. Good little jump serve picked up by Selig and set right side. Low by Gino, but gets it over. Blocked by Gino Hamoy as well. Point Vikings.
Ah, the soft touch from Gino Hamoy. You love to see it. You know, a little goes a long way, and that right there proved it.
Definitely. He's so effective on both sides of the ball. Obviously, we saw that attack coming straight down with a little low, but obviously getting over as number 11, Loden Tansey, with the serve. Set to Layden Biro, takes it down, and wow, Point Vikings as the outside is short to cover.
Oh, hold your breath when he's about to slam that ball through the floor, Anthony. Amazing power there.
Yeah, that's what he's known for as Tansey gets it over. Gonna be an outside set, tipped and picked up by Tansey. Biro on the outside, and it works out for him.
Yeah, nice soft touch there. And I mean, wow. As here's a serve, it's up. Scramble there. Picked up. The lib gets it. And big spike there, picked up by the Grenadiers. And blocked. Up. And slammed. Blocked by a Grenadier. Here we. Up. And blocked.
Blocked by Octon Arrow, but just a poor angle, sending it out.
On his head, Anthony, on his head.
Oh my goodness, Octon Arrow already making a statement in his first varsity appearance this season. Set middle to Stefan Toma. Little high, but he gets the ball and turns it into a point for the Vikings. 8-5 now.
Yeah, it makes number 9 on the Grenadiers look silly on that one.
And now Layden Biro, number 18 from the Vikings, ready to serve. And you heard the pop, picked up and free-balled over by the Grenadiers. Now going to the outside. Selig, it's down and on the wrong side of the net just a little bit, too straight down.
Wow. I mean, did you see the velocity on that serve there? Wow, Layden Biro, that is actually insane. It's like I'm shaking up here, Anthony.
Yeah, and we have a substitution here for the Grenadiers. Number 1 coming in for number 7. He'll be up to serve. 6 serving 8. Picked up by Don Bartolot, and Selig bringing it down. There we go. Refs picking up on the no touch, and that's 4 touches for the Grenadiers. Leads to a Viking point. Up next to serve, number 10, Stefan Toma.
A lot of variety on the servers.
And definitely, they got a good rotation going. And it's over, picked up, and set far outside. Blocked by Octon Arrow. And 10 points now for the Vikings. Octon, again, making statements. He was such a great player at middle during his JV season last year. So good to see him prospering at right side. Taken down by number 11, and Stefan Toma just can't get under it enough. Point Grenadiers. He'll come out for Don Bartolot on the middle transition.
Hey, look out for the souvenirs there, Anthony. That one went rocketing right into the crowd. Luckily, everyone's okay, but whoo. So number 3 for the Grenadiers set the serve. Long and out. Set. Big spike. And flailing out of bounds. Point Vikings.
Yeah, you got to admire the hustle, though, from the Grenadiers. And now coming in, Gino Hamoy and Horia Becca, the latter of which will serve. 11-on-7. And set to the right side, picked up by Biro. Reset by Rafael and brought down by Selig. Tom James with the hit and a touch on the net by the Grenadiers. Point Vikings.
Horia Becca will be back to serve. Soft touch on it. Pops up and blocked in the middle.
Yeah, hit into the net. Unfortunate for the Grenadiers as Horia Becca goes back to serve. It's going to be short and a Grenadier serve.
A little early on brain fart, but those happen occasionally. I wouldn't sweat it too much.
Yeah, definitely. Back to serve, number 11. We've now made a full rotation of both teams. Served out, was looking for the one spot, but couldn't get it. Point Vikings. And now up to serve, number 9, Andrew Selig.
100%. That's a tough corner to hit, Anthony. And if you don't get it, that's going right out. So Grenadiers clearly are playing with some risk in mind.
Yeah, ball is live off the ceiling. Picked up by Don Bartolad. Set to Gino Hamoy on the right side. And going for the cross is just a little bit too far. Point Grenadiers. Serving now, number 6. Goes long, picked up by the lib, and to Biro! Layden Biro with, I think we call that a bounce.
Oh, nasty. Nasty, Anthony. Wow, the power from Layden Biro on that spike. Oh, my God, Anthony.
Yeah, and it's nothing we're not used to. Layden Biro always coming in hot. As Rafael serves, picked up, and good eyes by number 9. Layden Biro again, this time stopped by the net. Had a good tip, and a back row attack from the Grenadiers is picked up by Rafael. Net touch by the Grenadiers, and it's going to be a point for the Vikings, now 16-9, and a timeout is called by the Grenadiers. Fantastic game so far. Jacob, what are your thoughts?
Well, I definitely think that the Vikings have come out firing right there. A lot of power has been shown, especially from Layden Biro. He's had some nasty stuff on the day so far, and you love to see what's coming out of him. But overall, communication is good. This team is moving around with efficiency, and right now, the Grenadiers they're trying to catch up right here, as this team moves fast and they move hard.
Definitely, and you bring up communication there. This is something that this program has worked on like a lot. I can at least speak for my JV season. You always want to emphasize communication because, you know, you are a team. You're not individual units. You are a team, and so you have to, you know, act as such. You got to make sure that all your moving parts are moving with each other, and the only way to do that is to talk. So great to see it playing out here for the Vikings.
And 100%. And speaking from my athletic experience as a football player, this team is like an offensive line. It's like everybody is moving in unison, and they are in complete sync. Otherwise, this team falls apart, and this team is doing a great job of keeping themselves together.
Certainly. You got Don Bartolad on the serve, set outside, and down the line and out. However, a touch is called, and it's going to be a point for the Grenadiers. Now with 10 points, serving on 16. New ball brought in. And he's awfully tall, picked up by Don Bartolad. Set to the middle, and Layden Biro denied by a triple block. Outside attack. And there's the outside attack we're looking for. Layden Biro.
Wow. Layden Biro showing off his mad power My eyes are wide open, Anthony. It takes 3 men just to stop one shot.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually realized, his nickname last season was the Mullet Bullet because of the velocity as he gets the block. Point Vikings. His nickname was the Mullet Bullet because of how fast he gets the ball down and because of his hairdo. But I'm realizing now that he's shaved it all. We got to think of something new here, Jacob.
We'll get back to you when I come up with a name.
Picked up by the lip. Out of position, set, and free balled over as Octon Errol slots right through the blockers and gets the point down for the Vikings. Now 19-10. Looking more and more in favor of the Vikings on this set.
Yeah, 100%, Anthony. 9-point lead. You love to see it from the Vikings.
And the serve was by Tansy, set to the outside, and blocked by Octon. Hits the antenna on the exit, and it's going to be Point Grenadiers now with 11. He goes, looked short, and it's out. Good eyes there by Layden Biro as he gets the serve. Biro, number 18 for the Vikings. Good high toss, takes it down, and you got to manage that one when you're as strong as Biro.
Layden Biro, absolute strength. And Anthony, I've come up with a nickname. The Buzz Cut Blaster.
I think it needs some work.
That's good. Come on.
Hey. Now number 1 up to serve for the Grenadiers, picked up by Biro, and tries to bring down by Selig, but it's blocked. Number 8 over the net, and it's Point Grenadiers.
A lot of hype from the Elk Grove sideline there. You love to see the high energy, but in the meantime, scoreboard, and this team's got to catch up.
Certainly, Biro over to Octon Errol, and a little bit too much adrenaline is sending these balls too far. Gonna stay the Grenadiers serve.
Hey, got to control your power there, Anthony. If you put too much muster on it, that ball's going flying out of there. That's a point for the other team. You gotta manage your power.
Yeah, having some more problems with the game ball. And it's number 1 from the Grenadiers up to serve. Good pickup by Raphael. Set outside to Selig. And out off the block, Point Vikings.
And a nice little souvenir for the crowd there. Oh, gives it right back, but souvenir for 2 seconds.
And it's now going to be Stefan Toma, the junior. Set right side and brought down. Going to be Point Grenadiers off of some great power. The lib, number 3, now up to serve. Needs to make up at least 6 points. Picked up by the lib and set right side. That's Octon Errol. And even with the flick of the wrist, it goes out, Point Grenadiers. Timeout called by the Vikings. And definitely lots to talk about. We saw them really consistent to open out the game, and now it's starting to fall apart.
Yeah, 100%, Anthony. This Vikings team, they're keeping their foot on the gas right here. They have a great run going, and you love to see what they've been doing. And the power on this team is scary. We've seen Layden Biro smash some balls. And with some amazing velocity, and the sound is deafening, Anthony. You could hear it from all the way up here.
Yeah, definitely. We got about 23 more seconds left in the timeout, which I think is a good opportunity to talk about, our social media channels, right?
Yes, it is.
Niles North Viking Media is on Twitter or X at NN Viking Media. That's at NN Viking Media. We're also here on YouTube where you can subscribe to stay notified at NN Viking Media or nnvikings.com. Jacob?
If you leave a like and subscribe right now, I'll be super happy. You'll put a smile on my face. And who doesn't want to put a smile on my face?
I don't know. You got quite a grin. Look at those choppers. Oh my goodness. Showing teeth as Tom James misses the pick up. Now 17 points for the Grenadiers, and that's always going to be a tough ball to pick up.
And here come the Grenadiers. Long serve there. Up. Soft touch there. Ball's up. And the smooth touch there from the Vikings.
Yeah. Substitutions now coming in. Gino Hamoy for Loden Tansey. And number 7, Horia Becca for number 1, Octon Errol. Back to serve. Horia Becca. Good toss, gets it over. And middle attack goes into the net. Going to be a point for the Vikings. Now with 23 and only 2 more to win the set. However, the Grenadiers are going to call a timeout here.
And wise move, Anthony. This team needs to catch their breath a little bit. Looking pretty grim in terms of winning the set for the Grenadiers. This Vikings team has been dominant early on, and you love to see it. Side note, why is it so quiet?
You know, I think sometimes it's just, you know, how the volleyball games go, because this has actually been one of our more, attended matches. I think it's just, to give respect to the coaches talking and conferring with their teams. You know, you see the same thing during the serve, right? I mean, unless, it's real close and you get a little in there, to try to throw off the server. But, I mean, it's just how it goes.
That's just the way it is.
And okay. We were working on our vocal warm-ups right before the game. Isn't that right, Jacob?
Yes, Anthony. Mommy did make me eat my M&Ms.
That's a good one. I'm partial toward Mime Mamo Mu. Got a right or outside attack. Goes into the net from the Grenadiers. And they certainly have the power, but I don't necessarily think they have the management of that power. We saw a similar issue last year with Gino Hamoy. His nickname on the team is actually Manage, because he's got to manage that ball. It's definitely something that he's been doing this season. And great dive there by Layden Beer, the big guy. Just not quite enough speed to get down to the ball.
Yeah, but that man was flying, Anthony. But you love the hustle from the Vikings here, as it is set point here, as the Grenadiers will serve with a little confusion. Popped up by the libero.
And it's Selig bringing it down, now going for a middle attack. Why is he so tall? He literally brought it down. Obviously you can't see me, but I have my arm all the way up, my shoulder all the way extended. That's what it looked like from the middle for the Grenadiers. Now up to serve number 11. Out of bounds, and that's going to do it. The Vikings win set number 1. We'll take a 3-minute intermission, and we'll be right back with some more Viking action. See you then. And we are now back with the second set of this pretty incredible contest between the Niles North Vikings and the Grenadiers. Looked great in the first set, isn't that right, Jacob?
Yeah, 100% dominance from the Vikings, and I'd like to highlight number 18, Layden Bureau, for his insane power. He is a strong boy, Anthony.
Yeah, that's a bit of an understatement, and he's been this way since freshman year. He's had all that power, and it's good to see him now in his senior year being able to harness it and, turn it into some points. We will be back soon. Looks like the Grenadiers are re-entering the court. They'll get their positions down, or the rotation down, rather. Vikings now breaking, and they'll come onto the court as well. Got a similar lineup here, but now looking to come in, you got number 12 for the Vikings. It's Kieran 2, who normally goes by number 2, given his last name. But anyway, you got number 3 from the Grenadiers up to serve to start us off. Picked up by Selig, set, and great reach by Octon Errol at the middle. Now got a good, powerful set over. And Andrew Selig trying to break through the block is not successful, and the Grenadiers open up with a point.
Definitely something you'd like to see if you're Elk Grove. A lack of dominance from the first set, so it's nice to see that they're starting off firing, showing that they're still here.
And it's going to be a point for the Grenadiers after an unfortunate net touch by Niles North. Back to serve is their Lib. Noah. Serve is not good, goes into the tape. Going to be a Viking point. And up to serve, number 9, Andrew Selig. Great power, and gets it out of bounds. Going to be a Grenadier point. Now up to serve, number 11. Picked up by Bureau, set back to him, and what in the world?
The cheese, Anthony, the cheese. Wow, I was holding my breath there. Layden Bureau with a soft touch. Way to fake out the power, scaring the Grenadiers a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And now up to serve, number 12, Kieran 2. Feels a little weird to say, but he gets it over, and definitely a lot of power as he sends the Grenadiers running, and it becomes a point for the Vikings.
Anthony, that bum almost went into the basketball hoops hanging in the ceiling. Almost went through it.
Definitely. 2 back up. Good low serve. And blocked by Amoy. Number 1 isn't there to pick it up, and it's going to be a point for the Vikings. Kieran 2 back again. And it goes out. Now up to serve, number 6 from the Grenadiers. Set to the middle, Toma, and thought it was off a touch, but goes straight out. Point Elk Grove.
Yeah, the Grenadiers stick it in. They're not going out without a fight here, Anthony.
Definitely. Serve is up and good. Bit of an awkward reception by Andrew Seligan. It's a point for the Grenadiers.
And normally this Vikings team is great at communication, but there it lacked a tiny bit. And you could see the mechanism, the machine that is this team kind of malfunction a little bit there over the lack of communication.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think Selig was necessarily expecting that ball to come to him. That's why he went for the set instead of sending for the bump. There's Biro picked up by number 11 and bumps that to the outside. He gets another chance, though, to bring it down, and they called it out, but there was a touch. Viking point either way. Now to serve, number 6, Gino Hamoy.
Gino Hamoy back to serve for the Vikings.
And we saw Hamoy last year on this team, developing great. And now, oh my goodness, definitely putting a lot of work in on the serves, Jacob.
Throwing up that ace, Anthony.
Definitely. He's going to go again, and you can probably see next to him Mariah Eady, one of our managers, playing as the line judge for this game. You know, usually you'll have 2 line judges from the IHSA, but I think this highlights an important, message. There is a dangerous shortage of officials in the Illinois High School Association, and they need your help. So if you are 16 or over, you can apply to be an IHSA official by going to ihsa.org. You get to stay involved in your community, get to stay healthy, and of course get a little bit of money. If you're 14 or 15, you could be a training official with the IHSA and, get all the same benefits.
If you don't think the call is right, don the stripes.
Certainly. You got number 14 on the serve. And, of course, you can see the application at ihsa.org. That's ihsa.org. Tip is out of bounds from the outside for Elk Grove, and it's going to be Viking point now with 7.
I think the IHSA should pay me for my slogan.
I think they should, I don't know, I think they should work with the officials. No, let's pay the officials.
True, but real talk, great point there by the Vikings.
Yeah, and great point. Well, not such a great point from the Grenadiers. They got it off of an off ball from the Vikings. Now 9-7, and number 9 will serve. He'll go picked up by 2, set outside, and it's going to be Selig bringing it down. Number 9, and great eyes by the Grenadiers, seeing it off the ceiling. Overpass by Layden Biro, and 2 isn't quick enough to pick it up. What a sequence, and it results in a Grenadier point, now 10-7, down up to serve.
And there was a lot of power from both sides on purely the bumps. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, but you always got to watch out for the bumps, You don't want to overpass. And it looked like Selig was going for the tip, only quite literally got the tip of his finger, and that's what motivated it out. Now 11-7, Grenadier ball. Good flat serve, and it's off the bump. This might be time for a timeout. But Coach Shaw is confident in this team to fix their mistakes by themselves. Down 5 points. Selig to Toma in the middle, and it's going to be point Vikings. This is their opportunity to slow it down, reset, and get back in control of this game.
100%, Anthony. Right there, you could see that this team is slowly finding their footing again. A great job to get in the way of that ball.
Bit of an awkward outside attack. And another awkward one. This time now pushed out by the Grenadiers. And Gino Hamoy, great back row attack. Bump set over. And a great slide by Octon Errol. And that's something that they work on in practice all the time, Jacob.
Oh, and it shows, Anthony. Smooth touch there on that spike. And just like that, the Vikings are crawling back into this set.
Toma on the serve. picked up, set outside, and brought down. Point for the Grenadiers. Toma now coming out. As is number 7 for the Grenadiers, going to be number 1 up to serve. Back row attack by Gino Hamoy. And while it was a great line attack, it just had a little bit too much on it, bringing it out of bounds. Timeout called by Coach Shaw of the Vikings, and well needed.
Yeah, 100%, Anthony. Just need to talk things over with the team here. Make sure that Vikings don't fall into a deficit here. Now, they do have the 1-set advantage here, but Elk Grove wins this set. It shifts the momentum a little bit. And in any sport, momentum is super key. So I think this Vikings team just needs to put pedal to metal here and crawl out of this deficit here. And I think as long as they can do that, it's a V for Viking victory.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Shaw talking to the full team. Grenadiers as well, as they are not in a comfortable spot quite yet. Only 5 points between the two teams, and they were already down a set. Both teams reapproach the court, and it's going to be Grenadier serve. Sets over, picked up by Biro. Set to Selig on the outside. And an overpass from the Grenadiers. It's a point for the Vikings. Horia Becca serves to zone 1. And a strong outside attack blocked by both Octon Errol and Hamoy. This right side attack now out of bounds, and it's a point for the Vikings. They are crawling back up.
And you could definitely see it, Anthony, not only down by 3 points.
And you go and do that, kill the momentum with an out ball. Grenadiers now with 15. And the Grenadier JV team, it's a bit of a celebration dance. Looks like I've seen that one on TikTok. Picked up by Selig, set by Becca, and Gino Moore trying to take it down from the outside. Hamoy again, this time rolling off the lip, but saved. It's going to be bumps that over. And there's Errol. Ball hits the ground, and it's a point for the Vikings. Just 3 points between the teams.
Yeah, a great effort by the Elk Grove libero there, diving for it. Unfortunately, couldn't get any real power onto it, and it's a point for the Vikings. So great placement there by the Vikings.
Ooh, that's why you wear knee pads. You heard the skin scrape. And it's a lift on the Grenadiers, point for the Vikings after a great aggressive block from Layden Biro.
Yeah, Layden Biro, don't forget about his height. I mean, we talk about his power, but this man is a tall boy, and he stands tall there and just gets it into the arms of Elk Grove. As there is a big spike there from the Grenadiers.
Yeah. Now up to serve number 11, completing a rotation.
And it looks like the Elk Grove JV team is doing more TikTok dances, Anthony.
Hey, I love it. Love to see school spirit. We got a lot of spirit here at Niles North as the Vikings bring down another point. Lots of Viking spirit here, and it's all going to be showed this Friday in the afternoon assembly, the Spring Pep Assembly. Going to be a good one. So if you're a Niles North student, you'll definitely want to stay and watch. Got lots of great videos for you, lots of great performances, including one from the volleyball team. Point for the Grenadiers. And a substitution, number 7 coming in for number 1. Number 6 on the serve. Picked up by Selig, set. And it's a right side attack from Hamoy that goes into the tape. They're calling a touch on it, though, as Biro brings it down. Great pickup by 11. And Toma with some net play. Ball is reset. Goes to Biro yet again. And all the power comes off the block, goes out of bounds, and turns into a Viking point.
Well, that one nearly took out the Elk Grove coach, Anthony.
Uh-oh. Now Gino Hamoy up to serve. Nickname managed, but I think he's been doing a pretty good job of that this game. Set right side. Looked like a double and sounded like one too. But it's going to be point for the Grenadiers. And this boys volleyball team will be taking on a challenging tournament after the PM Pep Assembly on Friday. They'll be going down to the Homewood Flossmoor tournament in the south suburbs, taking on several teams on Friday afternoon and Saturday morning. So if you can make the drive, I think it might be around 35 miles. Definitely won't want to miss it. You got Hamoy picking it up. Biro trying to tip it down, and the ball's reset. Back row attack by Selig is stopped by number 14. And the hustle just was not enough from Elk Grove. It's going to be a point for the Vikings. Now just 2 points separate these teams, Jacob.
Here come the Vikings, Anthony. This team is putting pedal to metal. And when this team gets going, they get going, Anthony. You'd love to see it.
Definitely. Your favorite player here, Layden Biro on the serve. Picked up by number 6. Great set, and it's picked up. Now Selig, slow to get down, and not much of a cover either. It's going to be a Grenadier point. Number 9, now on the serve. Gets it up, picked up by Biro. Set back row to Hamoy. And, oh, bit of a collision, but no call. Layden Biro on his head. Quite literally on his head. Oh my goodness. I mean, you do have to use every part of your body when you play volleyball for the bump, but I mean, that's commitment.
Well, that ball went flying, Anthony. Nearly went on to that. I don't know what that is. It's like a little balcony with like a, it's like a shed area thing.
Hey, great eyes by Horia Becca, the front row setter. But yeah, that ball goes far every time. It's a timeout now called by the Grenadiers. 19-18, they're still up, but it is definitely an uncomfortable situation. The Vikings have been on a roll for the past couple of points, and they're narrowing the deficit point by point. Jacob, what do you think the Grenadiers are talking about?
I think they're talking about how they need to slow this Vikings team down because they're creeping up, and knock, knock, they're there. And I think also what they really need to do is make sure that Layden Biro isn't making huge plays like that, or at least have better resistance towards them. I mean, that was a demoralizing spike there earlier with that ball going absolutely to the stratosphere.
Yeah, definitely. And Layden Biro has been on everyone's radar the past couple of years. You know, last year as a junior, he made the All-CSL team, or Central Suburban League team. Also on the Illinois coaches poll, and so people have been taking notice. This year will not be an exception. Now to serve, number 10, Stefan Toma. Gets it over, set outside, and down into the net from number 11. Now tied up at 19, and it looks like the Vikings could take this set over. Stefan Toma back to serve. he goes, picked up by number 6, going to the outside and down. Great intuition by number 6, Gino Hamoy, picking it up. Ew, that would have been out of bounds, but you'll love to see the dedication from Biro. Tight ball, still acted upon by Selig, and he was going for the block until a double was finally called on the Grenadier. Point Vikings.
What a rally there by both teams, and also it was really awesome to watch Gino Hamoy making sure that ball doesn't get lost in the light off that high bump, as we are tied at 20 now after that point.
Yeah, missed serve by Toma, ties us up at 20. And now number 1 from the Grenadiers has one of the most consequential serves of the game. Picked up by Biro, and middle attack from Errol. The block was good and strong, but just too far from the net. Slots onto the other side of the net, and it's a point for the Vikings.
We're neck and neck now, Anthony. It's getting real.
Definitely Becca with a great serve. And not the attack I would have gone for necessarily. Off the fingertips of the blocker and recovered by the Grenadier. Here's Becca. And Andrew Selig also bringing it down. Number 6 had the right idea, patience trying to pick it off the net, but falls back and it's no good.
Fighting to the very end, the Grenadiers there. Good hustle there by number 6, but couldn't quite pick it up.
There's Becca on the serve again, picked up by the lip, set outside and tipped. Big arm span though by Selig, who anticipates the free ball, going for a slide, but instead it's Biro from behind, is out of bounds, and the Grenadier are at 21.
A little too much mustard there by Biro, but overall, though, you love that energy.
Yeah, a little bit too much muscle is definitely an understatement when it comes to Layden Biro. Always brings power to the court. You'll have to see it. And here's Selig, brings the ball down, picked up, and oh, what an attack from the outside. Great commitment from number 3, the libero of the Grenadier, but it's just not enough, Jacob.
Nearly takes out the scoring table there, Anthony.
And we've got a timeout from the Grenadiers. Now, the Vikings have put so much effort into coming back up from their deficit earlier in the set, and so now they got to make sure they maintain. What do you think Coach Shaw is talking about down there, Jacob?
I think Coach Shaw has 3 simple words: finish the job. I mean, 2 points here. The Vikings were down big, and they've come back in this set. So I think just one last push, 2 more points. It's all it takes. 2 more points, and it's a Viva Viking victory. And I think these Vikings got to stay aggressive.
Yeah, and the Grenadier are out of timeouts. The Vikings still in the huddle. They break, and we are 2 points away, theoretically, from Viking victory. Number 9, Andrew Selig on the serve. Goes for the basic jump serve and taps the tape, gets over. Here's an outside attack from number 11. And while Layden Biro had good hands on it, the ball ricochets out of bounds. It's going to be point Grenadier, number 11. Arguably their best and most powerful player on the serve. Gets over, picked up by 2. It's tight, and here's Biro. Sending up Biro again, and it's down. Point Vikings now with 24. We're at set and match point, Jacob. Aren't you excited?
I am super excited there, Anthony. What a play there, and it looks like Toma's coming back in to finish the job.
Here's Kieran, too. Out of bounds, bailed out by the wind. And Now number 6 from the Grenadier, it's up to him.
Cameron Gregory back to serve for the Grenadiers.
For all of Elk Grove. Picked up by Selig, set by Becca. Barrow! On the line, it's down. Point Vikings, and it's a V for Viking victory. I mean, it only makes sense that Layden Barrow would be the one to bring it down. Ain't that right, Jacob?
He has been the #1 threat all game, Anthony, and he finishes the job right there. He's had a great performance today. He is flexing his power, and he's just getting started this season.
Definitely. This is his senior season. He's got about 28 more games left in his schedule at least. And, I mean, this is going to be a good season. This game showing so much promise, and this entire team saw so many young faces, so many great plays, and so many Viking points.
Setting the tone for a stupendous season. Welcome to the 2024 Vikings boys volleyball season.
Yeah, now we've got some more coming up on the Viking media schedule. So if you do want to be subscribed, you'll be notified of those events. What was that, Jacob?
Hit that bell.
So tomorrow, Tuesday the 19th, weather permitting, we'll be covering the boys baseball game against Ridgewood. That'll be at 4:30 p.m. Then on Wednesday, we've got softball against the Wheeling Wildcats. That'll be a good one. That's the 20th at 4:45 p.m. And then we've got girls soccer versus Lincoln Park High School, 7 p.m. on Thursday. Friday, we get the day off because spring break is starting, Jacob.
Oh, I'm excited, Anthony. I'm personally going on vacation myself. I'm going to have a nice little trip in Arizona, a nice warm getaway. You got anything going on?
You know, I'm kind of a staycation guy. I think the most we'll go is maybe a trip to the state line at Wisconsin, go to Kenosha. But, you know, I'm excited to stay here for spring break. Maybe catch some more Viking ball games. They got a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday event at home. Now, as for this Viking volleyball team, they've got a lot coming up, but the big one on the calendar is going to be that Homewood Flossmoor tournament this Friday and Saturday. Homewood Flossmoor, about 35 miles south, so it is a bit of a drive, but if you can make it, definitely suggest you do. Jacob, I think we're ready to wrap it up here. So from all of us at Viking Media, my name is Anthony.
I'm Jacob Ornstein.
And have a fantastic night.